Hey YouTube, today I want to make a quick video on this e-bike. This e-bike, it's the Cs20 e-bike 12,000 watt version. There are other versions out there. There's 3,000 watts, there's 5,000 watts, and there's 8,000 watts. This one being 12,000. And I'm gonna talk about some things. Let's start with the battery. Alright, so the battery in here is a 72 volt battery, 41.6 amp hour battery inside. Okay, it's not this big, okay, because it's pretty much like this big right here. You still have like 2 inches of open space, and according to the supplier, you can upgrade this battery to a 48 amp hour, so it's gonna be way bigger and more range. But just remember that the batteries, they're not cheap. They go for $1,000+. So keep that in mind. These batteries are very expensive unless you know how to make your own. But this one that comes with it is a 41.6 amp hour. You can upgrade it to 48 amp hour, and it's a 72 volt system. Okay, now let's talk about the speed controller. You can't see it here, but this speed controller is made by MQ-Con, and it's the Subaton model. This one is 150 amps of current, so it's pretty good for this 12,000 watt. So it's a MQ-Con Subaton speed controller, 150 amps. There are other controllers that are less amperage, and there's one higher amperage than this one. This 200 amps. I believe the 200 amps is for the 15,000 watts. I don't know, but there's one controller that is 200 amps. This one is 150. All right, now let's talk about the motor. To the motor. Okay, so this is the 12,000 watt motor. As you can see, the size of this thing. The rotor, it's 8 inches in diameter. The motor is bigger than that, as you can tell. So if the rotor is 8 inches, the motor is huge. You only have about 3 inches gap over here. Alright, so this motor is really powerful. It has a lot of torque, and the 3,000 watt version is probably the size of the rotor, and so on. 4,000 same, 5,000 is a little bit bigger. So the more wattage, the bigger the motor needs to be. Okay, now let's go to the controller, to the display. On this version they use the SW900. On the 3,000, 5,000 and 8,000, I believe they use color screen. This one, it's not color, because I was told by the supplier that on 12,000 watt version the color computer does not communicate well. But I don't know, who knows. But this one works pretty good. Ignition switch, you turn it on, and as you can see, I have 1,155 miles. I should have more, but for some reason it got reset. I should have around 1,300, but something happened at some point that it reset itself, and I had to start all over again. But I have over 1,000 miles so far, and I replaced the rotors, the brake rotors, one time already. Okay, so everything, it's 72 volts. It doesn't show you the voltage here, but it only shows you the battery meter right here, and the power output. I've never used pedal assist. I don't really have to use pedal assist because this thing has plenty of power. It feels like a motorcycle basically. And the speed over here. Okay, this is top. This top speed on this one is rated at 74 miles an hour. I've gone 60, no problem, and I weigh 200 pounds. I weigh 200 pounds. The bike weighs around 130 pounds, I believe, and I still managed to go 60, 65, close to 65 miles an hour on this thing. Scary, but it's capable of doing that speed. So it's rated at 74. I never done that fast, but 60, 65 is good enough. Alright, so from here you go to the brakes. So the brakes are hydraulic brakes, mineral oil, front and rear hydraulic brakes. And let's go to the front brakes and rotor. Alright, so these are the calipers. There are 4 piston calipers. Alright, for plenty of power to stop, because you need some power to stop. Alright, and these rotors, I replaced them. These did not come with the bike. These ones came with the bike, but I replaced them already because after 1,000 miles they wore out really fast. So the front, I replaced it. This is very easy to replace. You just remove the front wheel and you're good to go. Alright, the one that is very difficult to replace is the rear rotor. So whenever you have to replace the rear rotor, it's gonna be a good workout for you. Let's go to the rear rotor. Alright, so this is the rear rotor. Like I said, it's 203 millimeter, is 8 inches diameter, and this one I replaced it already. Okay, because like I was telling you that this bike came with this type of rotor I don't like, and they wore out really fast. Against 4 pistons, and I upgraded the path to miles brake pads, because these are very good. They last longer. I find them in Amazon. But when you replace the rotor, you have to take out the entire wheel. Everything has to come out. See this cable here? This cable has to come out, and it goes all the way through the frame to the controller. So you have to disconnect that cable from the controller and pull it through the frame, pull it out completely out, in order to take the wheel out and change the rotor. That takes a while, but if you have time, you can do it. Okay, now let's talk about the 72 volt system here. So this bike is 72 volt system. Okay, the headlight, I changed it. Okay, because it came with a round light, a spotlight, that I didn't like because it was only shooting a circle, and I changed this one here. The power feed to this light, it's actually 72 volts. So if you hook this light up on this cable, 72 volts, it's gonna get burned. So you need a step down. Okay, you need a step down. That's why I added a DC converter. So this thing here converts 72 to 12 volts at 180 watts, and from here I power up the headlight, the new headlight, and I also power up the driving lights here. Okay, so let me show you. So I turn the light, and those lights. So those are additions that I made. They are 12 volt lighting, and I had to do it because they don't have 72 volt system. So in addition to this 12 volt converter that comes here, I added a fuse box. This is a 6-channel fuse box, so you got 6 ports, and it's a 12 volt system, so you can attach anything 12 volts from there. But yeah, that's one of the mods I did. The 12 volt converter, the new headlight, and these driving lights here. Okay, now I want to talk about what I wish they would have done on this bike. First of all, I wish they would have used not bigger, but motorcycle grade rotors. These are bicycle grade rotors. Okay, and honestly, if the rotors were bigger, it would be more safer, in my opinion, because this thing it feels like it needs more power to stop. But I mean, it will stop you, but it doesn't feel. If you ride a motorcycle, you know what I mean. It will feel different, way different. Yeah, this is a bike, but this thing goes fast. So that's one thing I would wish. they would have done. They would have used motorcycle rotors. But I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to upgrade these rotors to bigger rotors. But so far, that's my only complaint, that they didn't use motorcycle rotors. My other complaint is that everything's 72 volts. I had to add a 12 volt converter so I could use 12 volt accessories. Okay, my other complaint is that it doesn't come with brake light. You have to add your own brake light, like this one for example. See, and you have to add your own brake light. But it would have been nice if it had a brake light pre-wired already. But this here, it's the 12,000 watt version. It's pretty fast. Like I said, it's rated at 74 miles per hour. I have gone 60 plus miles, close to 65 miles per hour. And it's not stable, man. You gotta be careful out there. But it's fast, okay? And this thing is fast. And I hope this video will help you, give you some information or ideas about this, upgrades and mods that you need to do. You know, like the brakes, the 12 volt system, the headlight, you know. But it's a fun bike to ride. You gotta wear a helmet. Okay, you gotta wear a .3 helmet because it's fast. But this is a quick video of the Cs20 12,000 watt e-bike. I hope you guys see it useful. And if you have one of these, if you decide to get one of these, you need to be careful, enjoy it, have fun, wear a helmet, wear protection. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.